And India Today's Foreign Affairs Editor Geeta Mohan is live with me. Geeta, as you know, covered the election for India Today from Washington, from New York, from Florida. Geeta, over the last few days, we've seen President-elect Trump line his cabinet with some very, very interesting faces, many friendly faces, as we've been talking on previous episodes of 5 Live so far. Tulsi Gabbard also stands out. She's not just a friendly face, she's the first Hindu lawmaker. She's taken a tough stance on, Islamist terror, specifically on Pakistan. She's been a pretty vocal advocate for, deeper India-US relations. She also gets a pretty big mandate. Director of National Intelligence puts her into the office of being the executive head of the US intelligence community, which is huge. She's got President-elect Trump's ear on intelligence matters, which could be very, very advantageous for India. Take us through how you see this.
Well, it is. It is going to be critical. It's going to be very important. And we were discussing this yesterday also, Shiv. All the obvious names that were to come out were the top positions of Defense Secretary, Secretary of State, so on and so forth. Looking at what are the others going to get, of course, Kash Patel did not make the cut, although he was tipped to be the CIA chief. That did not really happen. And we were looking at what is Vivek Ramaswamy or Tulsi Gabbard really going to get. It does seem like, it's almost like save the best for last, because being DNI, she is, like you said, and like we just put out in our report, she will be controlling all the agencies when it comes to the intelligence community in the United States of America. Critical because she is pro-India. In the interview, she said, what has Kamala Harris done as an immigrant, the second-generation child? What has she really done for the Indian community? Well, nothing. And here she's talking about what she wants to do, what she is looking at. So she's looking at massive cooperation between India and the United States of America. And to that end, we will be seeing a lot of maybe intelligence cooperation between the two sides. But primarily, the focus is going to be, Shiv, for the United States of America, the Indo-Pacific architecture, where India is or ought to play a very important role. They will be looking at how to make that push for India to start playing a more proactive role, and in that maybe share a lot of intelligence to do with China, like you rightly said. But what I'd be interested in seeing what she does when it comes to all the cases against President-elect Trump, against him, and how the intelligence community acted against him, whether she's going to clean up that entire dirt on Trump as DNI. And secondly, for India, most importantly, at this point in time, what we're dealing with is the murder for hire charge case. And in that, the intelligence gathering that was done by the United States of America and maybe provided to Canada as well. What really happens over there? What's the kind of intelligence that will be shared with India, and to what end? And whether if there is going to be an understanding of how seriously India looks at Gurpatwant Singh Pannoon being given the space that he gets in the United States of America.
Okay, it's going to be very, very interesting. Only a few weeks to go before that inauguration and before Tulsi Gabbard and all of the others take office, but we'll be tracking that very closely. It looks like early morning India time, evening America time is when Trump announces more and more members of his team. There are still some positions left to be filled, and we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. Thanks very much, Geeta, for that perspective. Not many know that Tulsi Gabbard used to be with the Democratic Party. In 2022, she had a famous breakup with the Democratic Party. She went independent for a while and only became part of the Republican Party this year in 2024. So imagine she joined the Republican Party, openly endorsed presidential candidate Trump this year, and is now the executive head of the US intelligence community. That's a textbook definition of a big meteoric rise that cuts through any manner of symbolism. The interview you just saw of Tulsi Gabbard with Rohit Sharma was after she became a Republican. But we've also spoken to Tulsi Gabbard when she was a Democrat. India Today's Gaurav Sawant spoke to her way back in 2019, where she spoke at length on the difficulties she faced as a Hindu in the United States. Listen in.
And since you're a practicing Hindu, while people may talk of Islamophobia, what we're seeing is a lot of criticism of the Hindu religion. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan was extremely critical of even organizations like the RSS. Do you see that there is some kind of an effort being made to vilify Hinduism?
Unfortunately, I have been on the receiving end of religious bigotry and very harmful and discriminatory rhetoric here in the United States, both when I ran for Congress all the way back in 2012, again in 2014 and 16, where my Republican opponents at that time first said, that Tulsi Gabbard cannot serve in the United States Congress because she is a practicing Hindu, and that undermines or conflicts with our Constitution. Another candidate who ran against me in a later year said a vote for Tulsi is a vote for the devil simply because she is Hindu. And political opponents now, as I'm running for president, continue these kinds of bigoted smear tactics that are centered around Hindu phobia. And this is the kind of religious bigotry that should not be used in our society nor weaponized as a political tool.
In the United States, you're saying you were discriminated against or vilified. It's also happening in other parts of the world. We see an adversary of ours like Pakistan do this more often than not. What's the best way to counter this?
With the truth. With the truth. The fact and the reality is that in my own spiritual practice of Vaishnava Hinduism, every day in my life, I am doing my best to practice bhakti yoga and karma yoga. And, bhakti yoga being love for God, karma yoga taking action to be of service to others and protect our planet. These are beautiful universal truths that I have learned and been inspired from by the Bhagavad Gita that can inspire all of us everywhere. These are not teachings that are only segmented for Hindus, but teachings that can inspire us all to come together, respecting Muslims, Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, Catholics, atheists, people of all different paths, to just respect one another and to care for one another and for our planet.
Now, when you met Prime Minister Narendra Modi last time, you presented him the Bhagavad Gita that you'd taken oath on as a congresswoman.
Yes.
You have plans to come to India to visit some of these places, especially where the Srimad Bhagavad Gita was written?
I came and visited India a few years ago. It was my first visit, and really appreciated the opportunity to be able to travel through many different parts of the country. It's a very big country, but was able to visit, I think, 7 different cities in a short period of time, and look forward to being able to go and visit again.